Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey had the chance to sit down with Tim Joncas, athletic director and head coach of boys varsity ice hockey at Westminster School. Joncas got his start in Connecticut youth hockey and later played for Wesleyan University and Trinity College. Now he's returned to Westminster, his alma mater, to lead his former team to victory. Let's meet the coach. Good morning. Thanks for meeting with us, Tim. Tell me, how has it been over here at Westminster?
It's been great. It's been, this is my 10th year, which is hard to believe. It's gone by as quickly as it has, but it's been a lot of fun, and the last few years, with the addition of a few little kids in my life, have really made the last few years go by even quicker. So it's been a great 10 years.
Now, as the athletic director here, what do you do?
I do a variety of different things for our athletic department, dealing with our coaches and our athletes, and scheduling contests and making sure that we have transportation and officials at those games. Everything from ordering uniforms all the way up to more of the philosophical issues that accompany any director of athletics. And I think I view it more as a role of being there to support our coaches and our kids and what they're doing each afternoon.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started in hockey.
Yeah, so I grew up in Brantford, Connecticut, and when I was about 5 years old, I remember watching my father play noontime hockey, which was just kind of a recreational pickup thing. I decided I wanted to give that a shot, and at 5 years old he signed me up for, at that point, the Yale Youth Hockey Clinic, and it's hard to believe I've been involved with the game in some capacity or another for, I guess, 28 years.
What's it been like to grow up in the hockey community in Connecticut?
I think hockey in Connecticut has really grown exponentially over my lifetime, certainly, and you see the amount of youth hockey programs that have popped up around the state, both at the youth hockey level, but also at the AAA elite level. And it's just nice to see that hockey in Connecticut continues to grow. There was a stat a couple weeks ago out by NBC Sports that was talking about the number of players from Connecticut who were in the Stanley Cup playoffs at one point or another this year, which is a pretty impressive number, with Max Pacioretty playing for the Canadiens, and you have Ben Smith still playing for the Blackhawks. And hockey in Connecticut's doing very, very well.
I would definitely say so. Now, I know that you also were a student at Westminster growing up. How does it feel to go from being a tri-varsity athlete for soccer, hockey, and lacrosse, and now being a coach here?
Surreal, I guess, would be the word I would use. I was very lucky that Westminster 10 years ago had an opening in their admissions office and had some needs from a coaching standpoint. And Tom Earl, who was my predecessor, decided 7 years ago that he was going to step down and retire after a long, lengthy career here as a head coach, and it was something that was obviously very near and dear to my heart, and something I thought I could do a decent job at, so I applied and was lucky enough to be given that responsibility. And it's just been a really enjoyable 7 seasons as the head coach.
Now, out of the 3 sports that you've played in the past, what made you decide to go and continue your hockey playing career?
Hockey was kind of my introduction to athletics, and then growing up as a kid, you're exposed to a lot of different sports, and still to this day I just love to play sports. But hockey was always kind of my passion. I really just loved the game. I loved playing it, I loved watching it, I loved studying it. Something that I hope to remain involved with in some way or another for the rest of my life.
Now, I know for college you went D3, and you ended up actually staying in Connecticut and went to Wesleyan University. What made you decide to stay in Connecticut and go to Wesleyan?
Yeah, my wife gives me a hard time about that because I was born and bred in Connecticut, obviously, and haven't really left the state. The NESCAC was always very attractive to me. I just like most hockey players growing up, I always wanted to be the Division I hockey player and go play for the New York Rangers at some point, but obviously that reality sets in pretty quickly once you get to high school and you have a good sense of where you are in the hockey world. And the NESCAC for me really kind of fit my personality in terms of I liked the idea that they were small schools, but that the hockey was at a pretty high level. And obviously we have a few great NESCAC schools right here in Connecticut with Connecticut College, Wesleyan, and Trinity, and ultimately ended up at Wesleyan my freshman year. And then made the transfer to Trinity College that summer. They're wonderful schools, and I'm lucky that a lot of our kids who graduate from our program end up going to those schools.
You've been coach here at Westminster since 2007, which is incredible. What have you changed maybe about your coaching style over the years?
Yeah, I think just like most things, I think you always want to look for ways to improve and grow, and all in all, it's just trying to stay kind of up to date with what's working in terms of the development of players, and that's ultimately our goal here, is to develop hockey players so that they can go on and play at the NCAA level.
Being the head coach at your alma mater, do you think it gives you an advantage when you're looking at kind of bringing kids into the school?
I mean, I'd like to think so. I think because of my experience here as a student athlete, and I tell people who ask that the 3 years I spent here at Westminster as a student athlete were really kind of the defining years in my life. So there's a lot of really good hockey players out there, but character is really important for us as a school, and finding those kids that understand that importance and the importance of being good, responsible citizens in their community. Those are kind of the kids that we go after. And for me, that's really important, again, as you said, because I am an alum and I'm very protective of my school. So it's not an experience or an opportunity we're just going to offer to anybody because they can shoot a hockey puck 100 miles an hour.
What makes Westminster's team so special?
Well, I think the kids, to be honest. I think the ability for them to come together in short order, and I think that obviously comes a lot from the captains we've had here over the years. So I think what makes our program really special are the kids and their commitment to achieving a common goal, and first and foremost understanding that they're here as Westminster students first and Westminster hockey players second or even third. So I think that understanding really helps our program quite a bit.
What qualities do you look for when you're looking at new players?
Really, as a program and as a school, I like to get a sense for, is this kid a good fit for our school? As much as the kids think the hockey experience here is a big piece of the pie, it's really a small sliver of what they're expected to do here. So the fit piece for us in terms of making sure they're a good fit for our school, then we take the steps to go out and evaluate them to see if they can help our hockey program.
What are the qualities that Westminster looks at for student athletes?
Our core values here as a school are character, community, balance, and involvement. So we're really looking for kids that understand those values and apply them in their lives. We're really not too excited about one-dimensional kids here. We're excited to have kids join our community who can do a variety of different things and do them all very well. And also the kids are excited to be here.
Now, for student athletes that are thinking about attending a prep school, just like this one, what advice do you have for them and or their parents?
I think you have to be willing to give if you want to get, and these schools are wonderful opportunities for kids, but they really have to come in with the understanding that they're going to give back to their communities. You have to be incredibly selfless, I think, to thrive in these environments and understand that you are part of a much larger community.
What about the parents that are thinking about sending their kids to a prep school?
The one word a piece of advice, and it's one word I would give the parents, is trust. If your son or daughter's decided to go to one of these schools, and obviously you've gone through the process of interviewing and applying and ultimately making your decision, that as a parent you have to trust that your child's headed to a really good environment filled with really good people who are really going to watch after your child and aid in their development. These kids are at the age now where they need to have some new experiences in new environments and a little bit further away from mom and dad maybe. And as long as parents have that trust in the community, it's really going to be an outstanding transformational experience for their kids.
All right, well, Tim, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule.
It was a lot of fun. Glad we could do it.
Me too.